My name is Supreet Kaur, and I'm the Executive Director of the Sikh Coalition. Sikhism is the world's 5th largest religion, and we have 5 articles of faith, and one of them is unshorn long hair. And men and women both keep their hair long, and men are required to then cover their heads with a turban. For women, it's optional. And so the symbol of the turban and the beard are actually articles of faith that represent justice, that represent commitment to humanity. They represent love and equality. And when you see someone with a beard and turban of the Sikh faith, you should know that that's someone that you can turn to for assistance. So Sikh Americans have served bravely for their country since the First World Wars, all the way through in every major world conflict since. And they have served in different branches of the armed forces, and they've been decorated in their service. Each Sikh is supposed to be a sansafai, a warrior saint, that you are supposed to live your values and be willing to defend them and the rights of others at all costs. And so we have a very rich military tradition in that sense, in standing up for what's right in your words and in your deeds. And so you find Sikhs in service in militaries around the world, and there's a great history there of fighting for justice. You know, in the 1980s, sort of on the heels of the Vietnam conflict, the U.S. Department of Defense decided to adhere more strictly to some uniform and grooming guidelines. And that's when they eliminated the option for any soldier to have facial hair or to wear a turban for religious observance. And so we ended up in a situation where practicing Sikhs could no longer serve with their articles of faith. When we think about the current policy, I think that the U.S. military is missing out on an immense talent pool that they could be pursuing to serve our nation. Sikhs of all backgrounds and walks of life, patriotic Sikhs who want to serve their country. This country was founded on freedom of religion, and I think our military needs to reflect that. And in particular, as I speak with different leaders in the military, I often hear that a soldier of faith is a stronger soldier. They have a well to return to continue to give them strength as they move forward in their mission. It's something we hear over and over again. I think the challenge that we're facing right now with the U.S. military accepting practicing Sikhs is really a question of what it means to look like an American. I think that it's so important for us to aspire to live our values as Americans, to be a place where we're welcoming to all and embrace all and seek to understand and appreciate our diversity, the different nations that we come from, our faith practices, our traditions. And once we can have that truly American perspective about what an American looks like, I think we'll get over this hurdle pretty readily. If more Americans understood the rich tradition and history of the Sikh faith, I think that they'd actually want more Sikhs to serve in the military. They would want to rely upon their fellow Sikh soldiers to protect and defend the Constitution and all of us. And so I think that in so many ways, this is about us understanding one another better. You know, it's hard to love your neighbor until you know your neighbor. And being together in this country, living our American ideals, provides us with that opportunity. And so if the Sikh American community can practice its faith fearlessly in the public square, then I feel confident that people of all faiths, and no faith at all, can also have their rights protected. You know, I look so forward to the day where any Sikh American can walk up to any recruiting station in this country, sign on the dotted line, and sign up like anyone else. They ship off to basic training, and they either wash in or wash out based on their ability. That's the day I'm looking forward to.